The Artisan and his final sculpture. In a distant hilly region, where ancient rock cliffs stood against the winds and rains, there lay a city named Damara, famed across the land for its intricate stone statues depicting gods, birds, and even the dreams of mankind. There lived a young sculptor named Vedant, a gifted artisan whose hands were said to possess magic. He could transform lifeless stone into such vivid forms that people shivered just looking at them. Vedant's sculptures graced public squares, temples, and even the ceremonial halls of royalty. The townspeople called him the one who touches the soul of stone. Each day, Vedant rose at dawn, trekking deep into the mountains in search of the finest stone. He would return and chip away, bit by bit. He often sat in silence for hours, chisel in hand, listening to the echoing voice of the rock, as if conversing with the soul within. He wasn't wealthy, but he was happy. One day, while Vedant was refining the wing of a Garuda statue, a stranger entered his workshop. The man, dressed in silk and glittering rings, introduced himself as Manik, a wealthy merchant from the capital. "Your talent is known even in the royal court," Manik said, "but you're wasting your effort. One statue takes you a whole month, while someone like me sells thousands of molded wooden ones daily." Vedant merely smiled. "I don't create to sell quickly. I sculpt to move the hearts of those who see my work." Manik raised an eyebrow. "That sounds noble, but think about it. You could sculpt just one prototype, and with my mold casting, we could mass produce and sell across the country. You'd never need to carve stone or rise early again." "And then?" Vedant asked. "Then you rest," Manik grinned. "Live comfortably, earn a fortune through royalties, a life of ease forever." That night, Vedant couldn't sleep. Manik's words echoed in his mind. Truthfully, he was tired. His back ached from carrying stone, his hands blistered from chiseling. Once, he nearly broke a bone climbing a cliff in search of quality marble. "Just one statue," he whispered to himself. "One model, then I'll return to true art." The next day, Vedant agreed. He sculpted a stunning prototype of the goddess Lakshmi and handed it to Manik. The merchant beamed and rushed it into mass production. For the first time, Vedant received a heavy bag of money, not earned through sweat, but through his name. From then on, Vedant stopped going to the mountains. He slept in, lingered at tea shops with friends, and attended lavish banquets. Wooden replicas of his design were sold everywhere. Each week, Manik sent more money. Vedant lived well without touching a single tool. At first, he told himself, "This is only temporary," but weeks turned into months. 1 year passed. His hands, once agile, began to stiffen unnaturally. When he tried chiseling again, he felt out of breath. Every motion was off. "Maybe I just need to retrain," he reassured himself. "I'm still Vedant." One day, a little boy entered Vedant's old studio, holding a broken wooden statue, a mass-produced copy of Vedant's creation. "Master Vedant," the boy said, "my statue lost its hand. Can you fix it?" Vedant smiled. It was time to prove he was still an artisan. He picked up his chisel and a fresh block of stone, but somehow his strokes were clumsy, his hands trembled, each chip went awry. After hours, he gave up. His shoulders sagged, drenched in sweat. The boy looked at the mangled sculpture with disappointment. "But I thought you were the best," he whispered. Vedant couldn't speak. He bowed his head in anguish. From that day, he tried sculpting every morning, but not a single statue captured life. The stones no longer spoke to him. The soul of the craft had slipped away. Manik still sent him money, but inside Vedant felt hollow. Slowly he understood. He had traded the essence of who he was, his skill, his discipline, his perseverance, for the illusion of rest. He had lost his hands, his reputation, his very self. One morning, Vedant hiked back to the old cliffs where he once gathered stone. Everything was the same. The wind blew, birds sang, stones rested silently. Only he had changed. He sat down, straining to hear the voice of stone, like in the old days. But there was only silence. He had severed the bond the moment he chose the easy path. Still, Vedant did not give up. "I don't want fame or riches," he whispered. "I just want to reconnect with the soul of my art, no matter how long it takes." Day after day, he began again. His hands bled, his eyes strained, but slowly, with each stroke, each breath, he began to rediscover himself. It took 3 years to finish his first stone sculpture after the fall, an eagle soaring in the wind, wings wide, eyes sharp as blades. It wasn't placed in a temple. No one paid for it. Vedant left it atop the highest hill where the wind never ceased. He whispered, "This is proof that I once lost myself, but I learned to fly again through pain and persistence." Final message. You may have talent, passion, and dreams, but if you trade them for short-term ease and comfort, you will gradually lose yourself. Just as Vedant gave up his hands for rest, just like a bird in the woods exchanging feathers for easy food. Ease tastes sweet at first, but eventually it takes what defines you. One day you might find that you can no longer fly. Remember, hardship doesn't destroy you, it forges you. The early mornings, the grueling hours, the sweat and struggle, these are your true wings. Don't trade them away. For convenience, that won't last.